Okay, and we are back. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience while we took care of this little technical glitch. I have got with me here Esha Dwight, founder of LTLA and a brilliant naturopath in gut health science and understanding why a lot of today's diseases can actually be prevented and help improve. So welcome, Esha. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you for being here. You have a very busy schedule, so I'm very grateful to have you on with us and to get that information out to the world, what we do here at LTLA. So thank you. First up, I wanted to ask you what inspired you to form LTLA and your extremely successful weight loss and gut repair programs.
Okay, how long do we have?
Maybe in a
Or-
nutshell.
okay, so the shortened version is I found my passion really young in life, and it was 10 when my mother died of a terminal illness. And I think it just had such a dramatic impact on me. I had 2 years where I went into a childhood amnesia, and I came out of that at 12 knowing what I wanted to do, which is quite, we've got 5 kids between us. You've got a lot of children as well, and it's very rare that children do find their passion, but I was one of those kids that did. And when I came out of that childhood amnesia, it was all about, I knew that, and I couldn't say it in an adult way, but it was all about preventing disease. I never ever wanted a child to lose a mother. It totally changed our life. It was just myself and my father, and it got us onto a path in life that, look, I loved my life with my father, but I would have dearly have loved it if I could have had my mother there with us on that journey. So I think it had such a traumatic impact on me that it shaped who I was. And literally from a very, very young age, I started university really young. I went on to get a number of different degrees, and I researched disease prevention basically for over 35 odd years. So in a nutshell, that is why I'm so passionate, and why we formed LTLA was that I wanted to take it into the online space. It's one thing being a naturopathic practitioner, running integrated clinics where we're working with doctors and chiropractors and psychologists, but we can still only see a limited amount. We can still only talk to a limited amount of people. In the online space, we've got the ability to actually reach the masses. We've got the ability to make profound changes in the world when it comes to people's health. So the online space was very, very attractive, and with certainly my health background, my business background, Ian, who's the co-founder, he's got a business background and a training background. We were able to train then others in this system of helping people with their health, whether that be weight loss, gut repair, building up their collagen stores so they're not so deficient, as well as, general health issues as well. So, yes, that's in a nutshell how LTLA really did form. But I suppose it's a culmination of 40 odd years, gosh, 40 plus odd years. I'm showing my age now. 40 plus odd years of research and development into how to get people healthy, how to get people on a health path in life.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If you're showing your age, you don't look your age. That's for sure. So I'm sure there's going to be many women on here as we delve into hormonal topics wanting to know how to maintain such a youthful face like yours. And Esha, what an incredible story. That is really powerful to hear that it all stems from personal experience and knowing, I've got goosebumps all over me, knowing that your desire was inbuilt from a childhood trauma that you just didn't want to have for other people. So that is really powerful, and it comes from such a deep part in your heart, which so many people will resonate with that. And I think, because being a mum as well, that is definitely seriously important to have that health link to keep your family going. So inspirational. Thank you for sharing that. Now let's delve into the hormones a bit here. Let's go right into the science. We've got some feels happening, and I need to get back on track here. So, how do hormonal barriers like PCOS, which I have, and many perimenopausal, which is becoming so widely common now, benefit from gut repair? And what are some of the outcomes you've seen in women who've struggled with their hormones for many years and have used that as their roadblock to finding new ways feel after doing the programs?
Starting with the end result, I suppose, firstly, I just want to give anybody that's listening, any woman that's listening that has hormonal problems, I want to give you hope. And it's to no fault of the individual woman. We have to be accountable. We have to take ownership of our own health, but we don't know what we don't know. And often we're a product of our upbringing. We're a product of how our parents lived. We're a product of how our mum lived. And we really only go into default action of our upbringing. You know, that's our default. So first and foremost, I suppose you only know what you know. So let me give those that are suffering with their hormones absolute like clarity that you can actually get onto a health path. You can get it under control. How do hormones impact our health? Oh, you know, it's what comes first. It's the chicken or the egg scenario. Does the gut dysfunction cause a hormonal imbalance? Does the original hormonal imbalance have an impact on our gut? But the question is, what we need to be asking ourselves is, what does the role of diet play? Because if we look at the etiology of disease, like the progression, the timeline, I probably need to go backwards on camera, don't I? But if we look at your starting point of when you're born and then how you progress through your childhood to your teenage years, to your adult years, to then our mature years, we've got to actually start with the foods that we're consuming. And it's the foods that we're consuming that really drive these hormonal problems. They drive the gut problems. They drive the mental health problems. They drive the obesity problems. So what I have found in 40 odd years of research is we've always got to start with the diet. So, you know, going back to what you've said, how does, you know, if maybe we pick who would you pick? Who's the hormonal woman? Would she have PCOS? Is it that hormonal woman? Or is it just the...
Yeah, well, let's say a pelvic inflammatory disorder. You know, that's something that people, you know, can be born with or develop into. And it's something that is passed on through to their daughters as well.
Okay, so when it comes to these types of problems, when they're hormonal driven, there's one trait is less than 4% of diseases are genetic based. So the World Health Organization, it was the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, published not very long ago that less than 4% of diseases have a genetic origin. Okay, there's some studies that come out that say far less. So when we're looking at that genetic predisposition, we can't rule out the diet of the mother and what she fed the child when they're growing up. So once again, I'm going to always pull it back to diet. We've got to get the diet right. We've grown up with a culture that tells us that saturated meats, that saturated fats are unhealthy for us. The problem is society has cut back on the saturated fats because they think that it's going to lower their cholesterol levels. Cholesterol is essential for hormonal conversion. We need cholesterol in our body to convert our hormones. So what we're finding is that people aren't eating the right foods to produce the right hormones in the body, which then causes havoc, you know, with this woman that has all of these types of hormonal issues. So I'm going to always bring it back to the diet first. And that's really what makes us different in LTLA. We address diet and we specifically tailor the diet to the individuals through our programs. We make sure we correct the nutritional deficiencies. We make sure that we correct the gut dysfunction, as well as we reduce the body fat so that we're reducing the inflammation in the body. And depending on the individual and what they want to focus on and what we as mentors want them to focus on, you know, we meet everybody where they're at, but we gently guide them to where we know we need them to go. And for that woman that has those hormonal issues, one, you know, we've either got to get her body fat off, her gut functioning properly, correcting the nutritional deficiencies, and then she's on a road to wellness. But one of the banes of my existence is when we went through the 70s and the 80s and we were told that we've got to cut back on saturated fats. We've got to cut back on fatty meats. Now, there's ways of getting your fats if you're vegetarian or vegan as well, but we can never underestimate the power of our ancestral diet, the way we're meant to be eating as humans. And that was, we need to be consuming more animal proteins. And the animal proteins have the saturated, the fat on, which then gives us a healthy cholesterol level, which helps the conversion of our testosterone, which often, you know, people that have PCOS or they have these hormonal issues, their androgen levels are all out of balance. So the cholesterol from these foods help our testosterone convert to estrogen. So it's this beautiful cycle of conversion with our hormones. And you don't need to know all of that. You don't need to be that researcher or that person that, you know, is researching every day. What we need to do is go back to basics, and that's really what we do with our programs. We get people going back to basics, reducing the body fat, correcting the nutritional deficiencies, healing the gut, and then, wow, it has a transformation when it comes to the hormones. I'm not sure that answered your question, but
No, it certainly did. And I love this. I love the science behind it. And that is one thing that drives me, is because I've struggled with polycystic myself. My mum has pelvic inflammatory. You know, there is a whole long train of hormonal issues in my lineage. So I'm always looking at how we can reverse it or how we can improve it. Now I may have it for life, but it's under control. And, you know, so I'm always looking at how I can grow in my knowledge to take care of my body in particular. So for me, the weight loss has always been a struggle, and the hormones have been a roadblock for me because, you know, I've been told throughout life that, oh, you've got this, so the only way you're going to lose weight is if you go on metformin. Well, I went on metformin and it gave me shocking headaches. Every side effect that it listed, I got it. I put on more weight and I'd say, I'm not dropping a thing. What am I doing wrong? And I know that there are so many women out there that are being told to go on to things like metformin and prescription drugs to reduce their weight, to reduce their hormonal symptoms, but it's not getting to the root cause. And it wasn't until you directed me to go through the root cause, healing the gut and getting the inflammation down in my body, that my hormones are stabilizing, and I'm dropping that stubborn weight that I've had carrying around since I was 12 years old. It's phenomenal. So for me, I'm a huge advocate for the hormonal improvements through diet and gut health and nutritional deficiencies. But I did want to share with you, a lady had come to me recently saying that she has been able to get off her hormonal patches after just a week into the weight loss program, which is incredible.
That's excellent. And that's the body adjusting. The body adjusts very, very quickly. And that's why we always say the weight loss program in particular, yes, we say it's 3 phases and it's 60 days to actually get to the point where you're altering your body weight set point. But you can see remarkable changes just in going through that phase 1 and into the first, the first week of phase 2. And that's because you're removing the highly inflammatory foods in your everyday eating. You're lowering the inflammation in the body. You're stopping the things that are aggravating the gut lining. So we target in the early days of the weight loss program, it's a multi-pronged approach where we're targeting the gut, the repair of the gut, by specific by specific products. You can't do this without the products. And I stress this all the time. The products work in synergy with, it's like a triangle. You've got the synergy, you've got the individual, you've got the products, you've got the individual and their mentor guiding them. You've got the products and you've then got the actual diet. So you've got the program. And the products and the program, the way it's been designed, work in synergy together. And I suppose I've got a one-up because a number of the products on the program are the ones that I've formulated. So I understand how they work in the body and how they work with foods. So initially, when you go on the program, you're reducing the low reactive foods, which reduces the total body inflammation while you're taking the specific products that are targeting all of the major organs. They're targeting the bowel, they're targeting the kidney, they're targeting the pH of the body. So all of a sudden you've got the foods working with the body, but more importantly, the products that are starting to heal the body. So instantly, the whole body inflammation reduces. The gut lining, the inflammation of the gut lining starts to reduce because we're not taking in the pathogens, the food pathogens, and the products are coming in and they're soothing the gut lining. They're starting to tighten the junctions in that lining of the gut, which means all of the, use a long non-layperson's term, the crap doesn't start pouring into the bloodstream and the body's not inciting this inflammatory response. So very quickly, you can actually get the results on the program. When you start to do that, that's when the individual starts to drop in the body fat. So, within the sweet spot for us really is day 11 to day 14. They're just coming out of that first phase where their body's adapting. We call it the adaptation stage. It's the transition stage. And then they're coming into this newfound energy because the body's starting to use the food, the food for fuel. It's not using all of those nasty sugars and processed foods and carbohydrates that we were consuming. So all of a sudden, the body's gone through this transition, and that's why they start to feel better. So it's a multi-pronged approach at first, which is it's clever, and it's so good for the customer, the client.
Yeah, and you can see how it works. Like that explanation just sums it up really well. And when you have an understanding of exactly how it's working or how it's going to work and the end result that you're striving for, it's clearer in your vision. So those kind of roadblocks that we put up and fears that we put up, if we can tackle them with information, with knowing why we're doing it and how what we're doing works, then we know we're going to get to the outcome that we want. We just have to go through the stages and trust the professionals around you to guide you forward as well. So
Absolutely. You're so right. And, you know, whenever we go on a program, there are the roadblocks, there are the obstacles of, well, even before we go on that program, because most of us have tried, you know, most people have tried everything.
yeah,
You know, you know, they come to us, well, you know, your experiences are phenomenal. But you know, the people that you attract, they have tried everything, so they go into the program with these roadblocks, and as long as you're aware of those roadblocks, and that is, you know, is this really going to work for me? How long is it going to take? How much money am I going to need to spend on myself? You know, is it going to be achievable that I do this with my feeding my family and integrating it with my family? And that's why I love working with you, Dana, because you are everything. You are the ultimate mentor because you do feed a family. You've got a busy family life. You've had all of these roadblocks. You've had hormonal problems, which are now getting imbalanced. You've been frustrated. You know these roadblocks that so many women face. And that, as long as people understand that, yeah, you know what? I'm just like you. I know what you've been through. And you know what? I'm going to hold your hand. And this system, we can take you through a system because I've actually come out the other end. Just trust the system, trust me, trust the system. And these are the results that you're going to get.
yeah, thank you very much. One of the biggest things is actually following through the entire program, and not going, okay, I'm happy, I've done my bit, I'm going to go back to my normal life now. Follow through, because that's the learning, that's the growing, and that's where you keep it off and turn it into a lifestyle, and your kids see that and start turning it into a lifestyle as well.
Oh,
Which is a huge motivator for me, is seeing my kids making and understanding what foods they're eating and why they feel horrible the next day when they've overindulged in slushies and Hungry Jacks. They know what it's going to do, and they make the choice, and that's fine, because you know it's living, it's growing, and it's all learning. And the next day they accept that they feel rubbish because they ate rubbish. So I get so much reward when I get, yeah, I know, Mum, I know why I'm like this, it's okay, I got it. that for me is very rewarding.
Oh, 100%. And for, you know, and this is what I love, that it is so far reaching for those women that start to work on their health. You watch relationships start to improve with their partners. Their relationship with their children start to improve. Their partner's health starts to improve. Their children's health start to improve. I have no doubt that you have now got your children on a health path in life. You know, at some stage, genetics stops. The genetic predisposition stops, right? And I think you've drawn the line in the sand. That's where your family's genetic predisposition to these hormonal imbalances stopped, and you took them on another path. What a gift a woman can give to her family to be able to do that. That's better than an inheritance. That's their inheritance.
Absolutely. And speaking of money, that's a big roadblock that we face, because especially these women that have, you know, gone to a lot of naturopaths, a lot of medical practitioners, finding the answer and spending a fortune, and are just not willing to go that extra mile, to spend that little bit more, to try something new, for the fear of failing again and putting more weight back on, or you know, hitting that another stumbling point of depression and despair. That why can I get it right? Because believe me, like you said, I have been through it all. I have gone through the roadblocks. I have gone through the process. My family have gone through the process. And as you said, relationships get better. They absolutely do. Absolutely. My relationship with my husband is very strong. He's a very big support in my health journey, but so are my kids. And I don't have pain. I'm able to go and do things I'm not rendered to my bed during ovulation time of the month and the first couple
Yes.
of days of my period. Sorry to anyone that doesn't want to get into this topic, but we're talking hormones. So I'm bedridden. I was bedridden for the full day in pain with heat packs and just not nice at all. And the kids saw that and, well, what if they got like, this is not, I don't want to grow up like that. That periods are scary. Like, it's changing it around, because it's one thing my mum always told me is your period is a cleanser. Think of it as cleansing. The old stuff is leaving the body, and replenishing. So when I would battle those very heavy, strong, painful periods, I would just focus on the cleansing, get rid of it. But now I'm not rendered to the bed. I'm not in a lot of pain. And I would love anybody that is suffering that similar period pains and cycle pains to not have to deal with that, not have to miss out on the family event because they're rendered to the couch with a heat pack. So it's definitely a massive gift we can give people.
Oh, definitely. And just two really quick things there. You know, the first thing is for your children to see their mum in pain. It almost normalizes it. When it's month in, month out, that's when our children start to think, okay, well, this is part of the process. We're meant to have period pain. We're meant to be bedridden. We're meant to have the headaches. We're meant to, feel a certain way. I always say, whenever you get any discomfort in the body, whenever there's pain, wherever that is in the body, whenever there's a symptom, that's like the dashboard of the car. The dashboard of the car, whenever the air filter needs to be changed or you get low in petrol, there'll be a light that comes on. And more often than not, we'll go and attend to it. We'll take it and fill it up with tank fuel, or we'll take it to the mechanic and we'll get that air filter changed, or whatever it is. The same applies to the body. When we've got children at a young age, if we're seeing that they've got eczema patches, or they're starting to get a little bit more constipated, or a bit of diarrhea, or bloating, they complain of sore tummy, or they complain of, they're sitting on the couch more, they're now outside, playing with the other children. These are the signs and symptoms of dysfunction. And, I'm focusing on children because we're family people, but this is also the man or the woman who doesn't have children. If you've got any signs and symptoms, that is a progression of disease. If you do not address those signs and symptoms, just like the car, it's going to progress to something else. And that really all the etiology of disease is. It's a progression of the disease, and it does more often than not start when we're children. So that pain when that 12, 13-year-old girl is having once a month, or that when she has her periods, or when she then bleeds every 2 weeks, or then she doesn't bleed, amenorrhea, she doesn't bleed for 2 months. These are all the dashboard on the car. These are all the signs and symptoms saying, hey, somebody, can you help me? Now, that girl can't do anything about it, and that's our role as parents. That's where we can step in. And that's what I love, the fact that then we have women that are exposed to the community in LTLA. All of a sudden we're having an impact on these children as well, because we know that's a sign and symptom. Let's get to the root cause. And with children, we don't need to get them onto programs. We just need to start focusing on their diet a little bit and getting them on a product. Maybe it's a low barrier fee product, low barrier entry. It's not going to cost a lot of money. We've got, we know our family expenses, especially if the mum's on the program. How do we just then be specific to those kids, teenagers as well, to, okay, we're going to get them on this product. That's going to start a little bit of the repair process, and then we can gradually help them, with their diet and progress them along a more healthier path.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I do love is and my kids get very annoyed with is I'm always asking about their bathroom habits. So for having 5 children and 14 years of nappies, I think I know a little bit about poo.
You do. You are the ultimate stool expert.
We're going to wrap it up now because I'm going to keep talking and picking your brain otherwise. But one last question before you go is, a lot of people are discovering digestive health, gut health,
yes,
and are looking at ways to heal the gut rather than focus on the weight loss. And this was me. When I came, I was like, I know, I eat clean. I am a very healthy person. I just know that I've got leaky gut and I need to heal my gut. So I'm going to do that way. But obviously that didn't work as well for me because I needed something more. So why should people that have 10, 20, 30 kilos or more choose the weight loss program and not the gut health program?
That's a really good question. And I always lean to my first question to anybody is, are you struggling with weight? Do you have excess body fat? Because the hormones that are produced by the adipocyte, the fat cell, can have an impact on the gut. It can have an impact on the liver. It can have an impact on other areas. And I think that's why our 5-day drop and our, especially our ultimate transformation program or the Reset and Energize program works so well. Because once again, we're starting to get the body fat off, but at the same time, we're repairing the gut. So I always, my way of thinking, to just really simplify it, if you've got excess body fat, let's get you on one of the weight loss programs, working out which one suits you. We give the screening questionnaire, and from there, that's a very good designed questionnaire that pinpoints which program they need to be on. And then from there, it is about, right, straight away, whatever program you're on, you're going to get the gut repair element. But what is different with the weight loss program is that you're going to lose body fat while you repair your gut as well. And once again, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is it by lowering the fat cells in the body, which lowers the inflammation? That triggers the gut to go, oh, okay, now, I'm the gut. Now I'm receptive to taking on these specific nutrients that's going to start healing. Or is it the other way around? The gut starts to go, oh, fantastic. I'm now lowering my inflammation in the body, which is now starting to lower the total body inflammation. And no amount of research I've ever done will ever pinpoint one thing. It's like, what's the cause of PCOS? Every professional has their opinion on the cause of PCOS. I have my own opinion on it as well. So to be able to take this to the masses and get results really quickly, that's why the question to ask yourself as somebody that comes into LTLA and you're feeling a bit lost is, okay, do I have body fat to lose? If I've got body fat to lose, let me get rid of that first. Okay. And I don't want people getting fixated on body fat and weight loss, because really if I could change the name of the programs, I would. However, then people aren't going to really understand the program. So we've had to call them, weight loss programs. But the bottom line is, if you've got body fat to lose, let's work towards getting that off, because all of our programs have that gut repair element with it as well.
That's right. And it's for me, I think it's the synergy. When you combine the weight loss with the gut repair, that's where magic happens. That's where magic's happened for me, and it's happened for some of my clients as well. It's in doing both of them and focusing on both of them together that the results have come, and constantly coming, keep coming.
Yes.
So it's absolutely a brilliant asset that you have given globally to the community, and I am forever grateful for your programs that you have developed. And I know there are a lot of women that are, and people that are, men as well. And for somebody that this has inspired to take action, what would you give your 3 tips to get started today?
Oh, 3 tips inspired them to take action. First, get into the community. Understand the support that we have in our LTLA community, and it's second to none. A lot of people don't realize there's a health guide in there, so you can search out if you've got a specific problem. You just go to the search function, put the name in, or you just go into guides and scroll down, you'll see the health topic guide. So I think the first thing is just to find your community, find the supportive community to help you on your journey. Obviously, you know, you've got Dana, you've got the team that supports Dana. Dana's not alone. And then you've got the community that's part of that team. So I think we underestimate in society the power of community and being involved in a, you know, a positive, uplifting, but health-driven community. So that's the first tip. Get into the LTLA group, just rummage around, ask, you know, as many questions as you need. That's the first thing. The second thing is self-reflection. Are you ready? Are you ready to just take control? Because if you're ready to take control of your health, as a woman, you're taking control of your family's health as well. You're taking control of your relationships. So if you're ready to take control, then you're in the right community. Okay, if you're not there yet, then you know you're probably not ready for the program. You stay in the community, you just learn and you listen to our lives, and you just suck up all of that wealth of knowledge. So the second thing is really taking control. So community, taking control. The third thing is really something simple. If you're not ready for a program, then just focus on getting onto just a better way of eating. And we've got free resources. There's the anti-inflammatory food list that you can start playing with, but just focus on one product that's going to help you get to your goal. Now, if you've got gut dysfunction, then it might be the trebiotic, it might be the probiotic, and obviously we help you. We help you work out what product that is. Or maybe you don't have that gut dysfunction. Maybe it is something you've got digestive problems. Maybe you just want to start with digestive enzymes. So think about whatever it would take for you, because you're in the supportive community, you're ready to take control, you're taking action. Think about the goal that you want to achieve. What is your goal? Okay, and depending on what your goal is, that will determine what product. And remembering, we've got 300 different products that we offer people around the globe. So we can home in on gut repair, we can home in on general health, we can home in on if you've got digestive problems, heart problems, you know, blood sugar problems, insulin problems. So depending on what, and it's so broad, your problem is, we can home in on that, recommend an entry product to get you started, and then that's the journey for you. And then probably you'll progress to a program. There's 4, sorry, I snuck the programs in there.
That's okay. You've got an extra bonus one, guys. Be very grateful for that. Thank you very much, Esha, for taking the time to speak with me this morning, or this afternoon, sorry. I know you have a very busy schedule, so I appreciate the time. And I'm sure the women that are watching this, and men, will be inspired by what you've said and want to jump in and take action on their health. And if you would like to join the community group, please put a message in directly, or put a comment down saying, I want in, and I will get you into that community straight away so that you can start collecting the resources appropriate to your needs. And there's some brilliant topics in there, not only on hormonal deficiencies. So thank you very much again for joining us, Esha. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I look forward to our next conversation in the future.
Definitely. Thanks, Dana. Good to talk.